right, so for this next example in section 3.3, we are going to go through and we are going to find our median, again by hand. We're going to start by listing all of our data values in order and go through that process. And then we're also going to look a little bit at this chart. This is a chart that we get from StatCrunch, and talk a little bit about how we can get that value or those values, pick those out of the chart, which is also going to be something that you're going to see a separate link to as far as a PDF and a video in D2L online. So taking a look at this example, again, this is another example that we looked at back in section 2.1. According to GasBuddy.com, the prices of 1 gallon of regular gas at 12 service stations in a neighborhood in Austin, Texas were as follows on one day in October of 2013. All right, so we're asked to find the median price. So median price means we are going to start by listing these in order. Okay, so our smallest value is going to be $2.93. So I'm not going to put the dollars and cents in here. I'm just going to write out our values. Right, so we've got $2.93, and then I'm just going to put a little dot above there as I mark them off. We have two values of $2.95. We have a $2.97 down here, which is next. $2.99. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is going to come a $3.09, which we have 1, 2, 3 of. 309, 309, 309, and then last but not least, actually the first one on our list up there, 319. All right, so looking at what we have here, we have an even number of values, right? We have a total of 12 service stations. 12 is an even number. So we want to find the middle point. So generally, I think the easiest way to do that is to kind of count backwards from both sides. Right? So here we're going to start at both of our edges, and then we're just going to move in equally. So keep going. And we have these two values of $2.99 in the middle. And then the way I generally write this out is I put a plus sign between those two. I put a line underneath, which is going to represent the division, and then we're going to divide this by 2. So we're going to average whatever these two middle values are. In this case, they happen to be exactly the same, but that's not necessarily always the case. So we want to make sure that we add these two up. So $2.99 plus $2.99 gives us $5.98. $5.98 divided by 2 also gives us $2.99. Right, so that is going to be our median. If we were to do this in StatCrunch, again, what we would do, we would make sure we get all of our data values in a column. We don't necessarily have to worry about getting them in order. We could just type them as they're listed up here. Once we do that, then we're going to go to the Stat menu up at the top. We're going to go select Summary Stats, and then select Column, and select the column that we're looking for. And in that case, that also gives us a median value of $2.99. All right, so then we're going to explain what this value means in context, and as we did in the previous example. So what we're going to start with, we're going to say the typical price of gas on this day was $2.99. And then we're also going to say half of the gas stations were selling gas for more than $2.99. and half we're selling for less than $2.99. Alright, so whether or not we have a even number, odd number, we can still find our median. We still pretty easy to find it by hand. Again, easiest way to do it, start listing our values in order from smallest to largest, and then find either the one single value that's in the middle, or we're going to average the two middle values if we have an even number of observed values in our data set.